Despite the overpopulation, and the man-made heavy pollution, which we even face in the remotest spots of the Pacific Ocean, our planet still has numerous beautiful locations. In this video we like to present to you, the world's 12 most exciting routes to travel in an RV, which should surely belong in everyone's bucket list. The routes are listed according to the continents, from east to west, hence the numbers do not indicate a prioritization in terms of a natural beauty contest. Enjoy the RV road trip gems, carefully evaluated and selected just for you. New Zealand is very well suited to a fantastic road trip in an RV. You'll have no trouble finding your way around, thanks to the inexpensive and uncomplicated campsites that are conveniently positioned near hiking trail entrances and landmarks. The North Island's Auckland to Wellington route is highly recommended. The travel between these two locations will be great for lovers of The Lord of the Rings. In Matamata, or better known as Hobbiton, you'll be able to view many of the filming locations. The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit have been turned into a must-see tourist attraction. You can take a tour around this small section of the Shire, while a guide offers up some fun facts. Mount Maunganui is a small hill, overlooking a beautiful bay, with a great beach right below. This fairly steep hike to the hill's summit takes around 40 minutes. The views along the way and at the peak make the hike very much worth it. Waitomo is home to some of the finest glowworm caves in the world. Join a tour to be taken in a dingy and witness thousands of the insects nesting in caverns. Tongariro National Park contains one of New Zealand's great walks, the Tongariro Crossing. It is 12 miles long and can be completed in a day. The hike up to Mount Ngaruho, also known as Mount Doom, is a challenging side quest. For road trip adventurers, Australia's east coast has lots to offer. Picture-perfect beaches, hip towns, beautiful rainforests, the Great Barrier Reef, and plentiful local animals can all be found along the sun-bleached blacktop. Driving routes may be tailored to suit any interest, ranging from epic long-distance journeys, to specific itineraries of must-see sites. So grab your surfboard, hiking boots, and hunger and hit the road on the East Coast, which offers several very attractive routes to choose from. Incredible beaches, lush hinterland, theme parks, there's no end to the reasons to visit the Gold Coast. This iconic tourist destination is a must for a glimpse into the quintessential Aussie lifestyle. If you don't mind getting your feet wet, then an offshore adventure is also available in this region. Travel from Airlie Beach, along the Whitsunday Island archipelago, to Magnetic Island. This 10-day trip is definitely worth the time and efforts invested. The driving distance between the tropical island of Okinawa in the south, and the snow-covered volcanic island of Hokkaido in the north, is 3,200 kilometers, while the air travel distance is 2,244 kilometers. With views of Mount Fuji, and Lake Oshinoko, the Hakone Skyline course is one of the country's most scenic drives, and is conveniently lined with handy rest stops. We recommend to fill up on culture in pulsating cities, middle-of-nowhere temples, and in traditional villages. Starting in Okinawa, Japan's highways wend their way from palm-fringed beaches, to snow-capped peaks, via limpid lakes and lush forests. No less stunning is the Mikuni Pass, which tiptoes above primeval forest in Tokachi sub-prefecture of Hokkaido. If you happen to travel in May, make sure to visit Hakodate, to admire the cherry blossoms. A stop in Kyoto, the former capital of Japan, is a must. While in Hokkaido, time spent for visiting Lake Toya, and exploring Sapporo, is well invested. These scenic routes offer a privileged perspective on parts of the country that many visitors don't get to see. At the completion of your RV travel through the magnificent Japanese islands, you might evolve into a different person. Featuring best of everything what the Mediterranean Sea has to offer, the route along the turquoise coast connects beautiful coastal towns and archaeological sites, located between snowy Taurus Mountains, and blue-flagged beaches, like pearls on a string. If you plan enough time and don't take the straight and fast highway connection, the route between the cities of Izmir and Antalya through the Turkish Riviera, follows a meandering road along the complicated structure of the coastline with several peninsulas, bays, and islands. The picturesque coastal towns of Didim, Bodrum, Datça, Marmaris, Kaş, Fethiye, and Kemer, line up between pine tree-covered hills. Ancient Lycian and Greek civilizations, and the mighty Roman, Seljuk, and Ottoman empires, have all contributed and shaped the cultural landscape in this area. World-renowned archaeological sites, among others Ephesus, Aspendos, Patara, and Termissos, can be admired here, as well. At the very heart of the Turkish Riviera, are chic and lively resort towns, located either on peninsulas that stretch out in the inky blue Aegean, or in secluded bays, filled with upscale yachts and gleaming wooden gillets, as this region is a major destination for sailing holidays in the eastern Mediterranean. If the breathtaking scenery of the Turkish Riviera can't convince you to take a road trip through Turkey, nothing will. You couldn't find a more scenic coastal drive than the D400 between Antalya and Fethiye, exploring ancient Lycia. Bright blue sea, deserted beaches and glorious mountains all the way. The route is jam-packed with ancient ruins and natural beauty, well worth exploring. Travelers know Norway for being very RV friendly, and it is one of a few European destinations that allows wild camping, or camping for free on undeveloped land. There are 47 national parks in Norway, which means, whichever route you choose, you're going to end up somewhere amazing. Western Norway is home to an immense network of road tunnels, which have mostly replaced the old fjord side roads. These older roads can be a bit narrow and tight, so drive with caution, especially if you're in a new motorhome, as you will meet lots of other large vehicles. Norway's tunnels are legendary. Well lit, beautifully sealed, and some even have roundabouts in them. Norway is also home to the Lærdal Tunnel. At 15 miles it's the longest road tunnel in the world. For the ultimate Norway road trip along the western coast, we recommend making stops at Bergen, otherwise known as the fjord capital, Loen, Geiranger, Trollstigen, Kristiansund, Trondheim, Jektvik, Bodo, and Tromsø, which is the gate to Arctic adventures. This trip takes 2 to 3 weeks, but there are some other shorter Norwegian road trips you can select, if you want to explore other areas of the country or have a tighter timeline. Just to give you an idea about the distances, for driving in an RV from Oslo to Lofoten Islands, one of the world's most spectacular archipelagos, you will need an estimated 30 hours. Along the way, you'll see fjords, glaciers, museums, and if you drive north enough to enter the Arctic cycle, you have a good chance of witnessing Aurora Borealis, or the Northern Lights. There is too much to explore in France, to have just one RV road trip route through the country, for example, the French Riviera. Starting your tour in Portofino, Italy, along the Amalfi coast, crossing the border to France, and driving along the French Riviera, or Côte d'Azur, to the resort towns of Monaco, Nice, Antibes, Cannes, and ending the tour in the charming beach town, Toulon, you will gain a memorable experience. Another can't-miss route in France, is the Loire Valley. You'll feel you are in a fairy tale as you visit all the stunning castles, or chateaux. We would suggest the following Loire Valley road trip itinerary: Château de Chambord, Château de Say, Château des Îles-Rideaux, Château de Villandry, and Château de Chenonceau. It is nearly impossible to see all the castles in the valley, but you won't be disappointed if you manage to hit these very well-preserved architectural masterpieces. While in France, don't forget to make a stop in Paris. Also worth visiting at the Atlantic coast, is the town of Cherbourg. Crossing over to Great Britain with a ferry, is possible at Le Havre, or via the Eurotunnel, further north in Calais.